Hey there, everyone. How you doing today? Can you believe it's been 13 weeks already? If you don't remember, we had our first conversation about my goals for the 13 weeks on December 1st, and we have been recording the progress against said goals every Sunday. So this is the wrap up. In this particular video, I'm just going to wrap up the week. Um, then I'm going to honestly go see my tax person. But I think what I'm going to do is do a wrap up of the full 13 weeks because I think there's some interesting value there. And then what I'll do is I will talk about the next 13 weeks because I think this is at least for me proving to be the right cadence, right? Talk about it every week, record it every week, realize what you're doing or not doing, and yeah, it feels like the right thing to me. So um, let's get into it. Why talk about it some more? Here we go. All right, so move this out of the way. So week 13, pretty crazy. And the reason I picked 13 weeks is so that I could assess my goals 4 times this year. I thought last year's monthly cadence was too slow. It allowed me to have too much. I'll get to that later. And my performance kind of showed. In this particular week, it just feels like a better cadence. So first off, health was a big deal for me. I put that first. Um, I am now pretty consistently working out 5 times a week. I have changed over the course of time. Uh, all of these right now, because the weather is getting better in California, are runs. Historically, I'd gone to the gym, kind of split it up between boring treadmill and weights. Now I'm doing predominantly running, and then if my knees or ankles or hips are too sore, I'll take out some weights that I've collected over the years. I am pretty religiously or pretty rigid. I don't know what word I'm trying to say. Um, I'm pretty focused now on not eating from 7 to 11 a.m. or the other way, only eating from 11 to 7. That was pretty close to my normal routine because I'm not a big breakfast person. But the dinners, the late night snacks is really what I've cut out. Had a good week for weight. Lost 3 pounds, um, which is which still shocks me, right? So I don't know what that is. The total must be like, I don't know, what is that total? So 2, 3, 6, 7, 10, 9, 15, 14, 15, 18 pounds. Wow. 18 pounds in 13 weeks. Again, broke down how to do it. I had to work out, had to eat better. And then the intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting has proved to be, at least for me, at least a game changer in the first quarter. My body it shocked me, right? It shocked my body. It was different, and I think it had a big impact. On the social media front, we had our largest week on YouTube. Put out a couple of videos that got some great hits. I put out that video about bigger pockets telling me no. That almost had 500 hits or 500 listens inside the first 3 or 4 days. So for me, you know that's pretty high. Again, I put out a lot of content, right? 2 or 3 videos a day, so it's not surprising that I don't get the thousands of views that some folks get. Podcast listens seem to be plateauing right around 5,000. Again, the goal was 3, so very happy with that. 4771. YouTube subscriptions bounce back. We are knocking on the door of 5,000 subscribers, which is blows my mind. So it was nice to see triple digits for YouTube subscribers. And then new Instagram. We seem to have had 2 good weeks. I think this might be the first. Yeah, definitely it's the first back-to-back week. But we've and again, I don't know what we're doing different. Just being consistent. So pretty interesting. As far as the business of writing offers, happy to say for the first time we had back-to-back weeks for writing offers. Didn't get anything. Did we get a counter? I think we got one best in final. I don't remember getting a counter last week. We may have, but it wasn't even close, so it didn't warrant it. Didn't get any deals from Stratton or Adam. Stratton and I did beat around a deal pretty heavily together that we had agreement on, and then it blew up. So, it happens. On the marketing side, spending a lot of money. I had originally planned to spend about $5,000. It looks like we're well over $10,000 now. Definitely have to track this. It is some significant money. I do believe in the people that I'm investing in. This will be something we track in more detail next 13 weeks, because it kind of came from nowhere. Really wasn't planning on doing much of this, but want to help others, want to increase deal flow, want to bring more value to this audience. So did that. Did find some more partners, so we're going to break that down in a lot more detail next quarter. And I got to network with agents more, and there'll be some goals around that. Didn't increase cash flow this week. We did hit the quarterly goal, which I am proud of, just barely. Snuck over the line with some rent increases last week. We had 3 flips that were scheduled to close last week that did not. So we are going to start off the next quarter pretty good. So what did we do? 2, 4, 5, 6. Oh, wow, we almost got there. So we sold 6. The goal was 7. What we did have 3 slip, which happens. We didn't buy enough, right? If we're going to sell 6, really call it 9, we didn't buy enough, right? We bought 4 last week, or last 13 weeks. So that eventually is going to be a problem. We just run out of inventory. We did just lock up something that will close hopefully next week, maybe the week after. But that is interesting. Been very good about the not buying, right? The whole needs versus want discussion. We will. I have a decision to make about my Warriors season tickets. It has been a horrible experience this year, pretty much because the team has sucked. Doesn't have the buzz, the excitements of the games we've gone to, getting used to driving to the city. But, it could be something where we give the tickets away to help build the action of the hub, network with folks, talk to Pace Morby out of Arizona. He does that with his son's tickets. So may turn out to just be a business expense. And, we go to a couple of games a year, but I don't know. This is, if you can't tell, this is bugging me, frankly. As far as unique events, didn't do anything of note last time, but was a pretty good quarter. As far as YouTube content, pretty consistently doing over 2 hours a week of original content, which I'm happy about. We sold almost 100 books on Amazon, and then we sold 73 books on Audible. The Audible is, again, 3 weeks, so it's really hard to call it a trend, but it's certainly increasing. 52, 60, and then 73. The courses, these are important to me. The courses are important to me because this is how I help, right? I mean, the daily content is great, but that's kind of how my mind wanders and what I think is important. The courses are organized, right? You should just go take the free course. It does talk about a price of $99. I've since raised it to $199 because I've added so much more. But most importantly, what's in the paid course is you get action you get the ability to join my private Facebook group. Access, that's the word I was looking for, access. And that's where I interact with students, answer questions, give out spreadsheets, all that stuff. So that is interesting. The t-shirts, again, not really marketing them yet. I did have one buyer buy those 5 way back when, which I greatly appreciate. And then again, we're making another donation. We are making a donation to the Fresno Food Bank. If you know our story at all, I was raised where food, we always ate. I don't want to sound like we didn't eat, but sometimes we had to eat the same thing day in and day out because money wasn't around and food options weren't there. So the food bank is something I've always wanted to donate to, and we have written $1,000 check. It's in the mail today, so it probably goes out tomorrow to the Fresno Food Bank, because it's an important thing to give back. I didn't always do this. I've talked about it, but it is definitely going to be something that we do going forward. So that's our 13 weeks. Again, I believe goals are extremely important. If you're learning your market, right? If you're one of my students and you're learning your market, do me a favor and create goals that help you learn your market, right? Maybe, for example, look at your market or your search 6 days a week, 7, whatever is comfortable for you, 15 minutes a day. Run a calculation on 5 new properties, right? Trying to figure out what average is. Talk to 1 new agent a week. These are all things that can help you learn your market, right? And if you're one of my students, you'll know what I'm talking about. But again, step 1 of the course is jump right in, learn your market. How'd I do it? Step 2 is how do you do comparisons and calculations? So if you're my student, create your goals by week that talks about that. And I think you'll be much better off at the end of 13 weeks. And I'd love to hear from you. Let's interact in the Facebook group. Talk about what you're doing. Other students will celebrate with you. We're over 300 students in the course, but I think we're only at like 110 in the Facebook group. So a lot of you have bought the course and not joined the group yet. So if that's you, join the group. Now, if you're not on Facebook, I get it. No problem. I was never on Facebook until I left, so I get it. But let's go have some fun together. Let's learn. Let's ask some questions, and let's just realize that we could be in a shopping window because people are going to get scared. And it's a great time. Cost of capital is low. Competition, I think, is going to drop, which means you will get better deals. All right. Take care of yourself. Thanks.